guys, how's it going? Now today I'm going to talk about the multiverse theory. Now that's an actual real theory in real life that some people may or may not believe, with infinite universes and infinite Earths with infinite possibilities of people and lives and how things affect, and things are different on each planet. Now this is also obviously a big thing in the comic book world, obviously. And as of right now, almost all the movies and TV shows are now coming together. Now, we all know the MCU, starting with Iron Man 2008, all have connected before and all that fun stuff. And then you have different properties like Sony and Fox, with X-Men and Fantastic Four and Spider-Man. Well, a lot of things are coming together, surprisingly, with this new multiverse thing that they're going to expand in the movies and TV shows, which we've already have seen previously. Starting with Morbius. Now, Morbius, the teaser trailer came out Monday the 13th. I know, spooky day. Ooh. I know, it's supposed to be Friday, but Monday the 13th sounds scarier because it's a Monday. Your weekend's over, you gotta go back to work. Terrifying. Anyways, shows a teaser trailer of us as Jared Leto as the new Michael Morbius, who is a Spider-Man villain who is part man, part vampire bat, and all-around flat-out monster. Now, I'm used to him from the 90s cartoon, from the animated series back in the 90s when he used to suck the life force out of people instead of blood. But this seems to be a little more horror-esque kind of approach, kind of similar how, more crude and violent Venom was. But hopefully Jared Leto will redeem himself as a bat than he was the Joker. That's kind of funny because he's Batman and Joker. Or he's now a bat from Joker. Anyways, I just hope he redeems himself from that. Don't get me wrong, he did have a decent look as Joker, but his performance, I think, was very poor. No offense to him. I think he's a good actor. I do like him in the band 30 Seconds to Mars, but I prefer him in roles more like this, more horror-esque. It seems to more fit his personality, and the fact that he's Michael Morbius, a villain we didn't think we'd ever see, period, in a live-action event or anything like that, and it's awesome. So, now, I'm wondering, though, since he's a vampire in the Marvel Universe, I wonder if they're going to bring in Blade again. I wonder if Blade's going to come back. But we will see. So, anyways, like I said, I'm used to the 90s cartoon of him just sucking the life force out of people with these weird little, suckers that come out of his hands, versus drawing blood. Obviously, they want to make it more violent for children in the 90s, but this does involve in the same world as the Venom with Tom Hardy. Hardy, not Harding, Hardy. Hardy, like the restaurant Hardee's. Anyways, Tom Hardy as Venom. I thought that was pretty cool. I didn't really care for it at first, honestly, but then I gave it the benefit of the doubt. I actually gave it a watch, actually a couple months after the movie came out on DVD. And I think Venom actually was pretty badass. I didn't expect it to be as cool as I, thought it was previously. Yeah, it's weird that the Venom symbiote doesn't bond with Spider-Man first to get all the spider powers, but they didn't really show most of the spider powers. He just kind of showed the symbiote abilities, which was kind of cool. So maybe that will tie in somehow later, something. Because as you see in this photo right here of Jared Leto as Morbius, looks like he's in an orange prison jumpsuit, walking down a alleyway, and it has murderer on the wall, spray painted in front of a graffiti version of Spider-Man. Now, the Spider-Man you see is not the Tom Holland one, nor the Andrew Garfield. It appears to be the Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, which we all grew up with, which I still think are really cool movies, except the third one, but we won't talk about the third one. But it's his murderer, and if you haven't seen, spoilers, the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, Mysterio comes out and says, Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and he killed me, blah, blah, blah. So I'm assuming this is going to evolve in that same world, which is interesting. And also the photo they used was from the 2018/19 PS4 Spider-Man video game, which is pretty damn cool. But I like how they use the video game art instead of the actual Sam Raimi art, but it's still the Sam Raimi suit, so it kind of ties in. And the kicker, at the end of the teaser trailer, you see Michael freaking Keaton, the old school Batman himself, Beetlejuice, and he recently was the Vulture in Spider-Man Homecoming, wearing the same exact uniform he wore at the end of Spider-Man Homecoming when he went to prison. And he says, "What's up, Doc?" Looking right to Michael Morbius. Now, there's not any confirmation yet that it is him as Vulture, as Adrian Toomes as Vulture, but there has been some speculations and some things that did agree, oh yes, we are now officially tying Sony Universe with the MCU. So it's like, okay, so you guys are telling us no it is, and yes it isn't. It all depends on who you hear the source from, but I'm not going to say credit this is all true. This is just my theory and speculations on the video and the teaser trailer. So don't take my word as truth. I'm just expressing my opinion because I think it's a cool theory if it is true. But it kind of doesn't. It kind of makes sense that it's the same character or same actor wearing the same uniform in a similar Marvel universe. I bet you it is Adrian Toomes because towards the end of Homecoming, he is talking to a man who's supposed to be Scorpion. Perhaps we're gonna finally get the freaking Sinister Six like we always do, and I really hope they do bring in Doc Ock. Please let Mark Hamill be Dr. Octopus. Mark Hamill, I think, would do a phenomenal job as Doc Ock. He's got that cool, the thing about him where he's just, he's an older gentleman. He can be a nice man, but when things go wrong, he can turn evil. I have seen him in really weird form, or, really interesting roles like in Sushi Girl, or as in, obviously know him as the Joker for the 90s anime series of Batman and the video games. And it'd be kind of cool to have two different Jokers and a Batman together in a Marvel film. It would be hilarious. But anyways, my whole thing is that I think they're going to bring this whole multiverse together because the sequel for Doctor Strange is called In the Multiverse of Madness. Now, I'm assuming this is where they're all going to tie all the universes together, just kind of similar how Warner Brothers, DC, and CW has recently done in Crisis on Infinite Earths. Now, if you haven't seen that, we're going to move on to that from Marvel to DC. I do like DC better, no offense. I do love Marvel too. I love them both equally, but I like DC stories a little more interesting. But I do like the side stories that Marvels are going up to, just with Morbius too as well. So anyways, the CW Crisis on Infinite Earths, obviously we have all seen it. If you guys haven't seen it, please give it a watch before you watch the full video on this. So yeah, that aspect. Now obviously it's Crisis on Infinite Earths, as I say, the multiverse. Now, there's several heroes and actors and everybody who came back together to reprise their roles, play different roles, play new roles, all this fun stuff. And the whole thing is that the reason why I'm talking about this is because this does connect anything and everything DC has ever existed. So anything and everything you see as DC is now all canon, no matter what Earth or time or era it came out. Like if it was the 70s Superman up to 2006 Superman Returns, it's all tied together. It is all tied together. Obviously, with the Crisis being over, they all formed and became Earth Prime, which is pretty cool. So now we're going to hopefully maybe get a Justice League or Justice Society of America. Maybe we'll get that TV show. That way we can all kind of stop watching shows on, here and there. Maybe we'll just watch all one big show together. It'd be freaking cool. Show different side stories of the heroes doing different stuff. But the big thing is, the reason why I bring this up is because it does tie in the DCEU, or whatever the hell they're calling it now. As we see here, you see Grant Gustin CW Flash meeting up with Ezra Miller. I think it's Ezra Miller's Flash from the Zack Snyder universe, or the Snyderverse, whatever people are calling it. Now, there's no confirmation as well with this if it doesn't tie into the Flashpoint or not storyline, because they're both Flashes, they both can do the same amount of abilities and whatnot. But I do like the interaction of those two. I was so shocked when I saw this on the Crisis on Infinite Earths Chapter 4, or Hour 4, whatever it's called. I was just so impressed with that. I was like, what the hell are we serious? We're seeing both Flashes together? And you notice when they had their conversation, they introduce each other, oh, Barry Allen, I'm the Flash. And that's what Grant says to Ezra. And he's like, the Flash. The Flash. Because if you remember from the Justice League film, I know a lot of you hate it. Get over it. We're not going to discuss that hate. But if you remember in that film, he doesn't have a name as the Flash. He's just Barry. And they never referred to him as Flash at all, whatever. He never got the name. He just had the cool suit. He had the abilities. You know who he is by the looks and abilities. You know that. But he never had a name. So I'm wondering if this is how he got his name. Maybe if the Flashpoint movie, when that gets into play, maybe this will come into play too. Like maybe he'll be like, "Oh, hey, I had this weird dream. I met another version of me, and his name is the Flash. I'm gonna call myself that, or something." I think that'd be really freaking cool. And I love the interaction of both actors. I love them both as the Flash. I think they actually work really well. Now, Miller, it threw me off at first when I first saw him, and I was like, he's a little, I mean, he's got the right build, but I'm like, he's got black hair. I'm like, why can't we ever get a blonde Flash? But you know what? It's like, it doesn't really matter if we get a blonde Flash or not. I don't think it matters. I think as long as the actor puts the personality and the effort to be the character, I think it actually works really well. I mean, Aquaman was a blonde. I mean, he's a big old biker-looking dude played by Jason Momoa. But anyways, yeah, after watching, like he was in the little cameo of Batman v Superman where he kind of came from a different universe or a different time to tell Warren Bruce about Superman and says she is the key, and we don't know if that means Lois or if that meant Wonder Woman or whatever he was talking about, but in Justice League it kind of pointed out to be it was Lois, but who knows? Who knows what's really the truth here? We haven't gone that far yet because they kind of been like stopping and going with the whole DCEU thing. Now, with the Flashpoint, though, movie, I think they're going to try to reset the DC TV or the DC Universe movies. Hopefully maybe Henry Cavill will stay as Superman. He hasn't confirmed that he's quit the role or anything. So, as far as I'm concerned, he's still Superman and whatnot. And the whole thing is, this is the reason why they brought Grant in, or they brought Miller in, is because they want to confirm, oh, hey, the TV shows and the movies do connect in the multiverse. But it's like, that's not the first time they did that, because as you see here, I can't remember the actor's name, I feel terrible, but he played Alexander Knotts in the 1989 Tim Burton's Michael Keaton Batman film. Obviously on Earth 89, because referencing the year, and he's sitting on the bench of Gotham City reading a newspaper that says Joker, or Batman captures the Joker. Now that also gets me excited too, because that's either talking about the Jack Nicholson Joker still technically alive in that universe, or maybe this is a different Joker, or maybe a reincarnation of him somehow. Because if you look at the symbol when Noxus pulls down the newspaper, when the sky turns red and whatnot, it says, "I sure hope you're watching up there, big guy." You notice the symbol. Yes, it does match Kate Kane's Batwoman symbol, but the symbol looks similar to Batman Beyond. So I wonder if this is a future version of that Gotham, because that Gotham existed in '89. So I wonder if this is, 2019, 2020, maybe this is Terry McGinnis' Batman Beyond. It'd be really freaking cool if they pull that in and confirm that, and then boom, you get a movie separately off it with Michael Keaton reprising his role as an old Batman with a young Terry McGinnis as a new Batman Beyond. That'd be really cool. I don't know if that's possible. That's just the thing I want, because I love Batman Beyond. It's my favorite Batman incarnations. And then Brandon Routh Superman. Obviously, he's dressed as Kingdom Come Superman, which I will discuss in a different video. I might post after this, or maybe a couple days afterwards, of how comic accurate that suit is. It is so freaking amazing, him as Kingdom Come Superman. Now, if you don't know that story, read that story. Kingdom Come, it is amazing, it is fantastic. I won't spoil anything for you, just read it. The art is by Alex Ross, too. The artwork by him is just simply fantastic. It's so realistic and beautiful, it's amazing. But anyways, so Brandon Routh, obviously you know him. He's currently the Atom, Ray Palmer, in Legends of Tomorrow. Now, I knew him obviously before as Superman from Superman Returns in 2006. He played a damn good Superman. He was very similar looking in how he acted as Christopher Reeve Superman, which I think supposedly that's supposed to be a connection to that. Like, as far as I remember, I think that movie was supposed to be a third version of that Christopher Reeve Superman in a different, timeline or whatever, because at the end, whatever, he does leave Earth for a while to come back to supposedly look for Krypton or whatever, and then comes back to Earth. I mean, I'm not too sure, there's no confirmation for it, but that's kind of how it seemed. And just like I said, I think he is the same Superman from Superman Returns, just obviously a lot older, because in the scene where he meets up with the Earth 38 Lois, when she has their child, Jonathan, obviously referencing probably the Rebirth DC comics where they have an actual son, they name him Jonathan. But as he meets him, he's like, "Oh, hi, handsome little guy. He looks just like my son, Jason." Jason is the name of the little boy in Superman Returns. That's Lois' son, who was confirmed, yes and no, to be Superman's kid because he had similar powers, but I don't know how that actually works with human and Kryptonian DNA. but that's all scientific stuff that I'm not going to discuss. But what I didn't discuss, I'm going to go back to this. I want to pull up another clip, or I should say photo of this. I was stupid with the Flash and Ezra Miller, however you say his name. I feel terrible. I'm sorry for butchering your name, man. I'm so sorry. We're both Flash are talking to each other, and they compliment each other's suits. He's like, oh, it's, Grant's like, oh, it's so protective. Yeah, it's so cool. And the other, Miller's like, oh, it's so smooth and dynamic and all that. I just love the interaction of those two together. I just want to throw that in there. But yeah, so the multiverse. The multiverse here. Now, obviously, as I discussed, it's infinite universes and with infinite Earths and infinite possibilities, as explained also by Harrison Wells in the Flash TV show. I'm really excited to see what the hell happens after this. Obviously, like I said, they all formed together and became Earth Prime in the CW. So now Black Bolt's, or Black Lightning, sorry, not Black Bolt. Black Bolt is another character, but Black Lightning and Supergirl and Batwoman and, whoever the current Green Arrow is, and Flash, and I think Stargirl. I know that show hasn't come out yet, but they're coming together. They all form to become Earth Prime, which I think is really freaking cool. Instead of going to different universes to hang out with each other, I think it'd be really cool. Maybe you see an episode of maybe Supergirl's doing something and you see Flash run by, do something, or vice versa. Flash is running around, Supergirl flies in, helps him out, or whatever. And also, I would love to see the villains cross over with each other. I want to see Supergirl take on some villains that, that Flash has fought and vice versa, and also see more interactions of Kate Kane, Batwoman with Supergirl. It'd be amazing to see those two hang out, because we haven't seen a Batman yet on here. I mean, yes, Kevin Conroy has showed up in the show as an older Batman in a different universe, but we haven't seen a Batman in the show, and I'm really hoping he pops up at least maybe once. Like, if it's a damn silhouette or something, I would love to see a Batman pop up, and if they do, please give us Kevin Portman. He's a great actor. He's plays Batman in all the Bat in the Sun productions, and I think he'd be a great Batman to show up in the CW. It'd be amazing to see him interact and whatnot. So, and also they're talking about possibilities of Brandon Routh Superman getting his own spin-off show of Kingdom Come Superman, and I would absolutely love to watch that. There's another spin-off of the other Superman and Lois having their own TV show too, which reminds me of Lois and Clark from the 90s with Dean Cain, and I can't remember the actress who played Lois, but with Dean Cain back in the 90s, and I do remember watching that growing up too. But yeah, so the multiverse, very confusing, a lot to go off of, but so far with Marvel and DC, they're all making everything connected to each other. Not to Marvel and DC, but I'm saying the whole DC TV shows and movies are all now canon together, and it seems to be that the MCU is connecting with Sony and Fox, as Disney apparently has probably the rights to both of those now. So hopefully we'll see more of those. It'd be interesting. I hope you guys like this video. I hope you guys like this rant. I hope you guys are enjoying my new expanded hobbies and videos I'm going to be doing and discussing. Simply because I would like to, I talk about more about than just Jurassic Park and dinosaurs. I do love them. They are my favorite things. Jurassic Park's my absolute favorite movie. But I would like to show my other hobbies and interests as well on this channel, along with music and comic books and all that fun stuff. I will still be doing Jurassic Park stuff. I'll still be doing field trips and everything. So don't worry. Sorry this video was delayed. I actually had this recorded once before, but when I uploaded it, the audio just disappeared. It didn't exist. I don't know what the hell happened. So I had to re-record everything. So everything's off the top of my head right now because I don't know where I put my script. I don't know what happened to it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little rants. I hope it's not, too long, but I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys are more interested. I hope to get more followers soon, so please subscribe, share this, like it, the typical YouTube standard nonsense. So hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll try to keep things more frequently, once a week or twice a week. I'll have a video up, hopefully. So hope you guys enjoy this, and you all take care and have a good evening. So see you around.